need to repost
the thing. Yeah. Okay, I got it. I got it. Posted the thingy. There. Did it work?
Now I had a question.
Hooray!
When you say fan-made, do you mean
Star Wars.
literally a story, like it can be any story at all that someone else created, like any author at all created, or...
Yeah. If it's not originally your idea.
Now could it be like an author who's established, or even someone like, say, I saw someone's plot, I liked their plot, I'm gonna just take their plot.
That's what I want. That's what I wanted to talk about, like with the plagiarism. Like, when does your idea like turn not to be your idea anymore? That sort of thing.
So with the fan-made stuff, you're more talking like fandom.
Yeah. Like when you're creating an original idea and then you take things from all over the place to put it together, which is what a lot of people do. When's that line that you cross where it's no longer your idea but more of a fandom, an homage to something else?
Like 7 words.
Huh?
Plagiarism is...
Yeah, in high school and college. If it's
It's just
7
limited
words.
to something like 7 words in a row from any one source.
Yes. It made sense in my head.
I actually had an entire RP hijacked on me once.
Hijacked?
Yep, when I started RPing, I was on Anime Nation, and I left for a long time. And before I left, I had started an RP that was a group one, and it lasted for close to 2 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
And then when I came back after like a year hiatus, I saw the same RP on the forums. I'm like, holy crap, it's still going? And when I opened it, it was a whole new group of people and a new author. I'm like, oh my god, he took my RP. It was the same plot, same character designs, everything was exactly the same. So I messaged him, I'm like, he took my RP. He was like, no, this is my idea. I'm like, no, it really isn't, because I got the idea from a friend's story. He was convinced that it was his.
And then just post your thread and go, well, this is exactly where you stole it from 2 years before.
The problem with Anime Nation is they purge all the time, so the old one wasn't there anymore. So I couldn't even prove it to him. It's pretty annoyed.
What I had stolen from you was an entire request thread. It wasn't a plot. Like, somebody literally copied the skeleton of my request thread, plots and all. This is on Eloquy though, or Eloquy, however you say it. And they literally copied it, maybe changed the plot or two, and changed like names of characters. But that was it. Like, you could literally put it side to side, and we're like, okay, even the intro, like, hi, this is my name, I don't like this and this, and I like that and that. That was copied too.
Wow.
So I was just like,
wow. Damn.
But at that point, do you feel flattered that they thought it was good enough to copy, or are you insulted?
I'll tell you what, no, I could have felt flattered, but I didn't, because I know this is because of laziness, not because, it's such a thing, because I've had those thoughts too. Oh my god, it'll be so much easier to just jack this guy's request thread, put it on mine, and change stuff instead of having to come up with one of my own. But I have too much fucking, like, common sense for that. So I don't do that, but I know what he's thinking, and he took mine, because I guess it was easy to switch out names and be done with it.
Oh my.
It comes to a point,
so
like,
sad.
if they're just, like, copying, like, your formatting and then just changing most of the things around,
How you do it is you quote the entire post as if you're gonna quote it and then comment on it, and then you just copy everything and it's already formatted for you. The way I had it set it up.
Like, if you're just using, like, it as a skeleton for your own, I think that's alright, but if you're copying it word for word, then that's just...
There were plots you even bothered to change. Like, I had a plot, I'll just use an example. What am I looking at? A wallet. Okay, so a plot would have called The Missing Wallet or something. It would still be called that. The exact plot would be the same. He just changed the name of the characters.
Oh, that sucks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not
good. Messed up.
And that's kind of like false advertising, because they're messaging him thinking they're going to get your level of work,
Nope.
but it's not.
Nope.
It's just sad.
I would have PM'd me and asked, hey dude, maybe I'm not that good at making request threads. I would like to borrow your skeleton. And I probably would have said fine, like I don't care that much. But the fact that he just literally took it.
I know. Well, it's like, you know, like, it's funny, like, I run a lot of group RPs on Blue Moon, and some of the things I do in terms of my format, I actually got inspired by some of the stuff I saw on Eloquy, and I actually PM'd the people on Eloquy and said, I admin Blue Moon. I want to run. Pardon me, my voice. I want to run some groups. I like some of the formatting you've done. I'm going to be doing completely different stuff, but I like your format. Do you mind if I borrow your format? And they were like, yeah, cool. I don't care. But I just was like, I had to do it because I just had to do it. And they thought they were all like, oh, that's really cool. That's really cool that you're actually asking. No one ever asks anymore.
Yeah.
And they were glad. They thought it was nice, especially since I wasn't even doing it on that forum. I was bringing it to another forum entirely.
I like group RPs. I'm in 2 right now on Eloquy.
We're still waiting for Broom to get on his.
Yeah, forever.
It's gonna be a long wait.
No, he's getting there. We did some equipment stuff the other night.
Yeah, you mentioned that on something.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna explode all over the place.
But anyway, I know we're short on time, so I know Ray has only so much time, so we should probably start.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Curious. Who's hosting then?
Doesn't matter to me.
Why are you pointing at me? Okay, here we go. Hi, welcome to the Blue Moon Podcast. Or should it be Moonlighting? Don't give me that stare. You stared at me like I've done something wrong. I don't like it.
Intro done.
Let's move on from there.
Welcome back.
It's very giggly.
Welcome back to Moonlighting. I'm your host for the night, Kimido, or My Happy World, who cares. With me tonight we have the usual, DA, Dark Angel, Kuro, because we need a little Kuro in our lives, and... What?
Nothing.
Okay.
I want those photos, Kuro.
Beside me is the perverted lady.
Hello.
And our guest for this week is Rave. How you doing, Rave?
Yay, I'm doing great. I missed the podcast, and as soon as this podcast starts, my phone rings. That's great.
I love hearing the in the back.
Yeah, in the old podcast, they used to ring all the time, and DA would laugh. But yeah, for this new podcast, hi guys, I'm Rave. I used to be on the old podcast as well, so this should be great.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful.
Well, we've got a few short topics for this week. We're going to start with original plots versus fan-made plots, the Blue Moon chat, and inspiration. Where are we going to get our inspiration from? So, original versus fan-made. What kind of role plays do you prefer?
Healthy mix of both, actually.
Yeah.
I am not a big fan of doing fandom stuff. I like all original. But I've been persuaded to do a little bit of fan stuff since coming to Blue Moon.
Corruption.
I blame Broom. It was all his fault.
I find the fan stuff, they always seem to want sex, so I kind of avoid it. It's not fandom, it's just cyber, and you're playing two characters from it.
I've had a few good ones, like I do mainly Mass Effect related ones, and they always turn out fairly well. It's just that some people are a little too advanced for me and like the tech talk, and so I'm just like, what the heck is going on? I don't remember this part.
See, my offer's you play this character, I'll play this character,
And
we'll eventually have
fuck.
sex.
We'll do it in the butt.
I don't. Anytime I've done a fan one, I usually have been given permission to do an original character because at the very least, I really don't like playing an established character because I don't think I can do the character the way it should be.
If I've played the game enough or watched it enough, I can usually follow what they'll do. But yeah, it's quite hard if you've only played it once and they want you to go full out this character. But when there's sex involved, they don't usually care if you make mistakes.
That's why I usually like doing things like
just want
Mass
a
Effect
photo.
or the roleplay games where you create your own character. So pretty much it is your own original character, it's just from a different story.
I think it, at least for me, really depends on what I'm doing. It depends on what I'm in the mood for. Like, I will do, like, I've been asked to do, like, twisted, for example, like Disney princesses stuff. So, instead of Cinderella losing her slipper or whatnot, you know, other shit happens. Instead of Alice, you know, she's delusional, she's just high. And, you know, some guys take advantage of that, whatever. But anyway, I guess what the point I'm trying to make is that you really have to know your shit for me to be able to do a fandom with you. Because what if I choose a fandom, I'm gonna know what I'm talking about. And if I say lingo that you don't understand, it'll just mess up things and it'll get me out of the mood really quickly. And I'm really selective. So there's no use to make things that are already difficult harder than they should be, right? So it really depends. But no, I'm not against fandoms at all. It really has to click between me and the other partner.
Yeah,
Coolies.
I definitely have my fandoms. I have quite a few fandoms that I'll do, and have done, and would do again.
Well, I guess that'll lead on to our other question. Do you have a favorite of each that you've been in?
Goodness. Oh man. Oh god. Favorite. That's so hard to pick. It really is.
So many.
There are. There are actually. God. It's like, oh. Right now I have a group, the Lord of the Rings group, that's going, that's pretty decent. It's slow, but it's going. Super slow, but it's going. Slow
I have a character in that I forgot about completely.
I know you forgot, because I just moved my character along.
I'll get to it.
She
You
left.
remind me now, so I'll get to it.
She just walked on.
But nobody posted it in so long, I forgot it existed.
Everyone's at the end. Well, my characters are anyway.
Now my memory is don't move things along.
Oh god. Sorry. I was like cough and laugh at the same time. Oh. I don't know, I like a lot. Like I like Dune, Riddick. Riddick's awesome.
Riddick. Yeah.
God, you gotta love Riddick, man.
So amazing. Did you see the last movie?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going off topic, but yes, Riddick.
Riddick is just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful fandom. OC or fan, whatever, the actual characters, I don't care. I can do both. And have done both. So, there you go. That's probably one of my top ones. I'd have to say.
What about you guys? What's your favorite fandom?
Mass Effect.
I don't really have one because I don't often write in them. But if I was to pick one that I was going to do, it would probably be Final Fantasy.
Well, it doesn't have to be a fandom. Have you got a good original one that you're doing so far that you like?
I'd like to see a Zelda one done.
Oh, like a nice big one.
I don't know enough about Zelda, unfortunately. Like, I played, Ocarina of Time, but that's about it.
I bought the encyclopedia, so I can know enough at some point if I want to.
Google.
I would say my favorites I think it's more of a. It's a tough question actually when I think about it. But I'll say that I've done quite a few Harry Potter ones,
Oh,
and
yeah.
those tend to be my favorite. I had one on E for a while, and out of it, I got an amazing RP partner, so that automatically became one of my favorites. And I did one with DA on here a while back that was really, really good, and I had like a whole bunch of characters in there. But
That was an
what happened
awesome
to that?
movie, wasn't it? I don't know, but it was awesome.
It was really good.
It
So I'll
really
say
was.
that, yeah. Like, usually creating characters for group RPs, especially multiple ones, can be seen as a drag, but, like, I really liked coming up with characters. I made backstories, like, for them for days. But, yeah, Harry Potter, for sure. Alice in Wonderland's pretty good, too, but Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. I guess next we talk
Still
about.
let Kuro answer.
What? Yeah, Kura said Final Fantasy.
For favorite.
If she was going to do one. You gotta pay
I
attention!
No.
Pay attention, lady!
I have a bad memory.
You suck.
Bad memory.
You suck so much. Okay, pros and cons that come with role-playing either. Like, all the landmines that you have to avoid when writing like a fan-based one and stuff like that.
Canon
I
would
think
be
a
the
big
biggest land.
pro to fan stuff is the fact that you don't have to world build a whole lot. It's already established, so you can actually delve into getting the story and the plot a lot quicker than if you were doing a whole new world.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
Just debatable, though. I really enjoy world creation sort of stuff. I don't like so much having, oh, this character's here, they're in some random ass town and some random ass world. Like, no. I like world creating. But I can see why, I guess, people would view that as a con. It's time consuming, I suppose.
No, the pros are pretty much the same as cons. You can either world build yourself and have it created yourself, or you can use a fandom and then you've got to remember all the canon for it. And if you get something wrong, someone's going to be anal about it somewhere.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of confidence issues, like, am I confident to build my own world and things like that.
Yeah.
I think
Sometimes
in
it's hard.
fandoms... Go ahead, yeah.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, please.
I was gonna say, in fandoms, the one pro is compared to original plots is that, say you're doing an RP with some sort of supernatural, right? Like, they have powers of some sort. In that world, the limit of that power is already set. So you can't have a guy be like, invincible and invisible and can't die, and, you know what I mean? But in an original plot, especially in a group plot, you get people who are crazy with their characters. Like, if there's supernatural involved, they'll be like, oh, he's invisible, he also can't die ever, also he's an amazing, fire person who shoots lava. Like, it gets out of control really, really quickly.
It's like a fight between 2-year-old children. Infinity
It's
plus
seriously,
one.
like, he will think of every single possible way to exploit his character and counter it. And I mean, if you have that amount of patience and if you have that amount of, like, mental activity going on, you can think up of a decent character instead of thinking up of, fucking Galactus. But,
That's one of the main reasons I like.
Because that's what I call my cat.
hey, that's an amazing name. I know my friend's cat's named Magneto. That's so. I can appreciate that.
Everything. Anyway, I lost my train of thought because of that.
Sorry. I went on a tiny rant, but it annoys me.
I was gonna say, in a lot of stuff I've done in the past, I've always made people state a weakness for their characters.
Yeah.
So that it helps avoid that a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's a good thing.
Mine has a weakness. It's called batshit crazy.
It's like, sure, you can have this amazing power, but in return, what either do they suck at, or what's gonna be their downfall? Like, you need to state something to the group so we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not for it to be exploited, it's just for your character to have a little bit more character, you know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
So true.
Helps them grow.
True that.
Another pro or con?
Oh.
No, we're out.
I read this, but I let it all go.
I'm usually the random.
I think a pro to original stuff too is that it can go anywhere, whereas
That's
a
true.
fandom one would. A lot of them would have more of a linear direction for them because they've got an established plot somewhere. I mean, you can do original stories with fandom worlds, but you're still limited by what the canon was.
Yeah.
True. That's true.
Whereas if you're writing original and you're like, you know what, this plot it's got to change. We're gonna go this way now.
Yeah.
Make it work.
Yeah.
And I've done that before in the past. Or something will come up in the original where you're just like, oh, this is not the direction I was going at all, but this works better.
Yeah. And you have that freedom in the original.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's actually hard. Like, you can have a fandom that you really want to do, and you want to maybe like further the universe or expand out, you know, from the story that's been created. And just trying to figure out that right way to do it can be hard sometimes. Just finding
Actually,
that
Broom and I
way.
are talking about something just like that because there's a fandom one that I actually want to do, and it's a fandom within a fandom. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a series called Mario Warfare, and it's a web series that a group did, with a different take on, obviously, like the Nintendo worlds, particularly the Mushroom Kingdom. But I wanted to do like a continuation of that plot, and me and him have been kind of debating and talking about where it would go, and it's been really hard to figure out what that would be. So yeah, see your point there.
A con for me would be like finding the right partner to do a fan-based one with you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, that can be hard too
Like,
sometimes.
you just post that you want, like, a Mass Effect one, and you'll get, like, 100 people, but none of them will be any good. They just know about the series. They don't know about role-playing.
Yeah.
That's a big con in my book.
Oh yeah. No, I know it's true.
Yeah.
Because I've had that, like, with Castlevania.
Mm.
And now I'm only versed so far in Castlevania too, but at the same time, you know, I'm more versed than a lot of people, it seems, in Castlevania than those who've contacted me about Castlevania.
Yeah.
And that's just sad.
Yeah.
a lot of people
It's sad.
have just played the last Castlevania game because I know one came out like last year on the Xbox and stuff, but not a lot of them played like the old, you know, Atari ones and the old Nintendo 64 ones and the Game Boy ones. So
That
it takes
Nintendo
a lot.
64 one kicked my ass.
It's like I played the old ones, and you know, and I don't mind learning up on the lore of the new ones because I can read. That's no big deal for me to do either. But it's like when I just get people who just throw like, I want to be Alucard, and you know, and I'm not talking about Helsing Alucard. I'm talking about the Alucard from Castlevania. They're like, I just want to be Alucard, and I'm just like, and they're like, yeah. I'm just like, oh my god, oh no, god, no. And then I'm just, you know, and I'm trying to try to get these plot ideas from these people, and they just don't know what to do. and then you know you say, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't be Alucard then. Let's have you just be a vampire. And they're like, well, what's that? And I'm like, oh god, no. God, no. Just go away.
And you're like, yeah,
go away.
I'm actually not
I'm
open
like,
for writing right now.
Yeah, I'm just like, let's not do Castlevania.
Sudden change.
Yeah, let's just not do Castlevania at all. Because seriously, I'm like, do you even know who Belmont family is? Who? Yeah, never mind. Let's not even go there. Just no.
I think I've played the start of
That's
the
just
Curse of
sad,
Darkness.
you know?
There's one good thing about fandoms that people miss related directly to that is that there's a wiki for everything. You know, there's a Castlevania wiki, there's Final Fantasy wiki, Harry Potter wiki. If you don't know something, it's so easy to look it up.
I've been looking up stuff about Nintendo characters and worlds because of the one that I'm trying to think of.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, the wikis.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that difficult. It's
Mm.
not. I mean, like, if you wanna role play a fandom, at least have a little bit of knowledge. I mean, and I'm not anal either. I don't have to be ridiculously anal about it. I just want someone to have general scope. General scope is fine because I want a story. I don't want stupid. That sounds awful, but it's true.
I just want to play this main guy, and you can be my babe, and we'll fuck.
Basically, that's what I'm just like, dude. No, that's just not how it's gonna roll. It just isn't gonna roll that way. Sorry. If there's no story, I'm not gonna last more than 2 posts with you. Oh god, that sounds really, really arrogant, but I don't care right now.
You gotta like what you like. You gotta be picky.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're never gonna
I'm
get
sorry.
what you want.
I'm also getting over illness, so I'm just like in a mood.
No shit from DA. Straight to the point.
Sorry.
You're all giggly. It's all cute.
Yeah, anyway. Just stop me talking before I make myself look more like an asshole.
That's cute.
I still can't hear you.
Okay.
Sorry. Well, I guess we'll move on to the next one. Most common fanatic. What's the most common one that everyone sees, really?
Ponies.
Oh god, Naruto.
Ponies.
Oh god.
Everywhere. Everywhere. You look through the request threads, and I swear to God, every 1 in 3 has a Naruto request in there. It's so bad. Like okay, Naruto's very diverse and great, and if you've watched the show, then it's gonna be pretty good. But because not a very small amount of people actually, watch it episode by episode and know what the hell is going on, it usually turns out so bad. And it's 1 in 3 characters every time. Sasuke and Naruto in some yaoi action, right? All the time. That really shy one. What's her name? Yeah, her. And the pink-haired one, Sakura.
Sakura, yeah.
So, yeah, every single time. It's one of those 3. It's the same thing every single time.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to switch it up, there'll be one of those plus an original character, which is usually very badly. So bad.
The Naruto world is, very open for original characters and all that, but if you're just going to roleplay the same 3 over and over, then it's just redundant.
It's the same.
It's just what I see. That's what I'm most commonly
seeing. And everything else.
I don't have much to say on Naruto. I don't watch it. I know nothing about it.
Well,
it's like Dragon Ball Z.
The question isn't Naruto, it's just what's more common. So, what have you seen?
Yeah. Oh, I see it on the boards everywhere, but I don't know anything about it. I just know it's on the boards everywhere.
Yeah, but, what other series? I'm sure there's more than Naruto. Naruto's just the one that I suggested.
Inuyasha?
No, but it's everywhere.
My Little Pony?
Everywhere.
Oh, My Little Pony roleplays.
Oh, God.
And Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon requests on
Oh my god, yeah.
The P
Pokemon
word.
I got nothing against Pokemon.
Oddly enough,
Yeah.
the only random one I've done is Pokemon.
Hiss.
I'm sorry. Don't judge me.
I don't want to remind you of when X and Y came out. DA in the podcast was just losing her mind because she hates it, and that's all everybody can talk about. She was sitting there crying. No matter what topic we were talking about, it somehow reverted back to Pokemon, and she's just sitting there pulling her hair out.
I can imagine that.
48. Well, then let's not mention the P word.
But
The forbidden word.
is very present, that's where.
It's banned from the podcast.
pertinent to conversation. So
We've mentioned it. It's gone.
I've been scarred forever. It's okay.
What
No,
else?
but it is.
Another one I see is like DC and Marvel universe. Like,
Those are fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
Those are fun because a lot of the times in DC and Marvel stuff, it's more create your own character in the universe
Yeah.
rather than play as Superman or Batman. But those are really fun for me. I really enjoy those.
Well, playing a superhero is always fun, but playing a villain is even better.
Yes.
It seems like there's a lot of superhero stuff going on. I'm seeing like Avengers stuff and Marvel in general.
Marvel is just really popular right now because of the movies and stuff.
Surprised we
Right.
weren't flooded with Hunger
makes
Games ones.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen a lot of Hunger Game ones. But, you know,
No one wants to see
I
the
actually see
character
more
die.
I see more Justice League stuff than I do see Avengers stuff,
yeah, same.
which is fine because I like DC better anyway. But DC's got my most favorite superhero of all time. I can't.
And that would be who?
Pumpkin.
I kind of want to make you guess, but I don't think there's any way you will guess because like it's such a vague question.
Give us a hint.
Okay, if I give you a hint, you'll get it right away. He's really, really fast.
Flash.
Yeah.
Ah.
Like, I'm
Go
just weird.
me.
I'm weird.
I can't believe I got that.
Good job. 2 cool points. 2 cool points right there.
Yay, go me.
I just kind of want to pat you on the head right now.
Giggles make me laugh. But I'm weird in that I'm obsessed with everything that's really, really fast. Like really, really fast cars. My favorite animal is the cheetah because it's really, really fast. My favorite superhero is the Flash because it's really, really fast. I don't know. I just like fast things.
DC, I'm gonna go Dexter.
Hmm?
Dexter?
Dexter.
He's one of the,
Oh,
The Red
Dexter.
yeah, the Red Lanterns.
Yeah, he's the raccoon-looking guy.
It's
Or
a
the
murderous cat. Or kitten.
It's a cat, Red Lantern. Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, it wears a ring on its tail and it goes on killing sprees. It's great.
Yeah, for all the cat lovers, it's a super powered cat.
Pretty much.
That's pretty amazing.
I mean, they put it in as a joke and they just kept it because everyone got attached. 'Cause the story was just so sad. Its owner got murdered and then it went on a rampage and killed the owners. The murderer.
There.
So I gotta kill her cat. Come on.
I'll give you a psycho kitty cat. My pussy.
It suffocates people, does it?
Anyway.
That was interesting.
Okay, moving on. I think that pretty much covers it all, really. There's 2 other questions there, but we pretty much covered them in the other questions, so... Moving on! Blue Moon Chat!
First rule of chat. Kuro is mine.
It's a saucy topic.
What?
Very
It's the
saucy.
first rule of chat.
That's the first rule of chat?
Yeah.
No, Kimmy's yours? Because
Kimmy is...
Kimmy's your wife?
No.
You meant to love Kimmy?
You have Raz and Hero. I have Kuro.
I have everyone. Everyone's mine.
Okay, first rule of chat. Everyone belongs to Kimmy and I have Kuro. First rule of chat.
So, I actually have a chat story.
Oh, yeah?
Tomorrow is my 1-year anniversary on Blue Moon.
Oh, congratulations!
When I first came to Blue Moon, I was scared of everybody. And
Same here.
I kept popping into the chat and I'm like, I really want to talk to these people. They seem really cool. And I couldn't do it and I couldn't do it. And one night I had a couple glasses of wine. I got on the chat and started just talking away. And then I never left.
That's so cute!
Where's Broom for that story?
Chat is hilarious.
That's the thing with Blue Moon. All the mods and things are like really cool people, and they're fun to talk to. It's just intimidating because they are mods.
It is intimidating, and it is intimidating with certain people.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you, Javi scares the shit out of a lot of people.
Yeah, Javi intimidates me.
And
She's cool,
she's
though.
She's like one of the most hilarious people I talk to on here.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, but she scares the shit out of people.
The only time I've seen her on, she has snapped at like 4 or 5 people. So I'm just very cautious.
It's
No,
awesome.
she has a temper, especially with new people. Like, she's really, really, she's really, really quick to get like sassy with you. She's like fierce.
She's no nonsense,
Fierce.
but she's a sweetheart.
Fierce. No, but actually, one of my favorite moments in chat of all time happened with her, and this was like a while back, and it was like me, her, and Trigon were on chat, and we had this giant debate about who, between me and Trigon, owns Javi's boobs, and eventually, it came down to me owning her right boob, and Trigon owning her left boob. And,
Why does that not surprise me?
but for a good, 2 hours, there was this big, hilarious argument in chat about boob rights. And exactly how we were going to settle this. And for a while, Javi didn't even want to sell her boobs. But, we convinced her that ownership should be given. For her own protection, of course. Of course. One of my favorite moments was with Javi. But also my favorite moments that I'm not involved in is when somebody new is in chat and they're being less than intelligent. She's so quick to pounce all up on that and rim them out.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I think she went off at Strauss at least once.
Man, I can't even recall how many people she's gone off to. It's ridiculous.
That's what makes her a great mod. Yeah. Chat's a
What was the question today? What were we talking about?
Chat, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's just a discussion about chat. First off, I'd like to say, for all the newbies out there, if you go into the bar, type in bluemoonroleplayings.com/forum/chat, you'll actually get to the chat site. So you don't have to type in at the homepage, which can be oddly confusing. A lot of people actually don't know that.
Yes, and actually, if you are logged into the site, it will automatically link your account, so you're automatically logged into chat. You won't have to re-log in. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, sometimes it'll pop up with login screens, but you just type in your details and away you go. No problem. So what was chat established for? Was it just for...
It's just basically a place for all the members, anyone who's obviously a member of the site to just kind of go hang out and chat with each other, get to know each other while they're waiting for RP replies, basically.
It's a place to make friends, create enemies, and find love. Romantic. But
it is a good place to hang out and just sort of get to know people if you're not, while you're waiting for roleplay replies and that sort of thing.
That's one of the number one rules, though, is to not let it become too consumed with roleplay stuff, because it is just a hangout. It's not a place where you can roleplay with people.
To get all freaky. Man, I've seen so many people straight up almost RP in chat. And it's a lot of the mods actually squash that really quickly. But when they're not around, especially if it's late at night or whatnot, chat can turn pretty RP-ish in a sense.
Yeah. It used to be really bad, and we were kind of people would get really annoyed and be like, all right, this is turning into one big, massive role play. We can't even talk to each other. We can't do anything because it's becoming this very graphic role play between like 2 or 3 people. This is kind of sucky.
Yeah, it's kind of selfish in a way, huh?
Yeah. And then nobody feels like they can talk or do anything, and it gets out of control. So
yeah, because it's a place for a group, not just 2 people.
it's meant for everyone.
Yeah.
I found if
Not
certain
for just
groups
one.
of 2 or 3 people are on, I tend to avoid the chat because you just know it's going to descend into that kind of thing.
It often does, and what the difference is, it tends to be more personal when it does descend to that, because in chat you're not RPing anybody, you are directly talking about the user, right?
Yeah.
So it would be
Sometimes.
so it would be,
Yeah.
it would be like Lady Laranai huggles and snuggles, blah blah blah, with Kuro. Not like the character established between their RP. No, but like the actual.
Yeah.
The actual person. And so it gets like, it can lead to like, more stuff between the 2 people, but I don't think like chat is the best place for that. Like that should probably be taken into like PMs if you want to like pursue something between.
That's what I usually do.
Basic actions between each other is alright, like just a friendly hug to say hello and all that, but
Oh no, fuck that. As soon as Happy goes into chat, I grab her boob, like, / me, right, grabs Happy's boob. That's not, but everybody knows that that's a joke. So, it's not, it's not
Well,
serious.
it also, and that's the other thing too, if you know people, that's another thing too, because like sometimes, like I don't care, like people I know in there that I've established relationships with because I know them, I've conversed with them on some level, whatever, you know where the lines are, so it's okay. But then you get these people who think, oh, well, I can just do whatever. I don't know that person, but I'm going to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, they're doing it, so I can do it.
Cool. Yeah. It gets a little funny when that happens, and I kind of don't like it. I get a little freaked out when that happens. Just putting that out there.
Oh, what was that
people,
time
like,
with
as soon as you go into chat, they're like, Spanx DA, what's up? Like,
well, it is if it's someone I don't know.
that episode with that was weird.
Yeah, there was this. Yes.
Okay.
So shit. This name. Yes. That was the name. Yes. And yeah, I was in there, and this person, this wasn't even all that ridiculously long ago, was in there, and they, I don't even know, it was the most ridiculous thing ever, and except we should probably edit out the name, just because we don't want to point names out, okay?
I'll bleep it.
Yes, please. Anyway, there was a person, so yeah, there was a person in chat who got a little too friendly when they didn't know me, and it was not pleasant. It was not a pleasant experience at all, because they said some things that were like, yeah, we won't go there.
You know what? One of my pet peeves with the chat is really when people are talking about other people that aren't there. And I mean, it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I was talking to so-and-so and we did this thing, that's fine. But it's like when they're saying things about another person that isn't there that are like borderline inappropriate, I get mad.
Yeah,
and I've actually told people off in the chat because of it.
In like, do you mean like in an insulting way or in like a sexual way?
Either or.
I mean, yeah, both are pretty bad, I suppose. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I caught it one day.
I've definitely seen people bad-mouthing people. I don't...
Yeah. I was specifically referring to a sexual thing because there was one person that was being talked about by 2 others that were there. And I was just like, I don't like this, and I think you guys should stop. And they're like, oh, you're such a party pooper. And I'm like, no, I'm really uncomfortable with your conversation, and I want you to not do that anymore.
Yeah.
So.
At least have the person be there to defend themselves a little bit, but...
Yeah.
Not a lot of people do that, though.
Well, and maybe the person's totally fine with it, but they weren't there to decide that, so, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it is human nature to sort of do the talking behind your back thing, because not a lot of people like confrontation, but if you're gonna do that, don't do it in chat, where everybody can fucking see you. Like,
exactly.
It's just, like, retarded, by every meaning of the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People gotta keep in mind that we do keep chat logs. So if you do something not right on chat, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, it can get reported, or it's going to get seen eventually anyway. So,
Yeah.
so people might not realize it, but I actually go through logs at various points anyway. So, ha ha ha, gotcha, sucker.
That's because you're red and a super villain and scary. You can like
I can bitch when I
find
want
whatever
to.
the fuck you want.
I may be sweet and nice, but I can also be a bitch when I want to be. Not often, but I can be. So there we go. I'm sorry. I'm just
when the time demands it, you need to be sometimes.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just like in a funky mood, so don't mind me.
Okay. Does anyone have any favorite moments? That they
I already
haven't
talked about
shared?
mine. I have boob crap.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah, we've already done that.
my highlight.
Any moments with Kuro?
Oh.
How
Oh.
about pros and cons? Any
Right.
pros and cons?
It's
to
fun.
chat? Yeah. We can talk
Most of the
about
time, it's fun. It's
Mm.
nice to talk with
Yeah,
people.
it. Yeah.
there's some pretty fun times in there.
Yeah.
That's like a huge pro. It's like it brings everyone pretty much onto the same level. So
Yeah.
yeah, everyone can just socialize with everyone as long as they don't take it to the extreme.
Yeah, the biggest con is pretty
Yeah.
much is if people run off with a conversation. Like 2 days ago, it was nothing but Pokemon for an hour, and then after that, it was nothing but drug talk for an hour, and then it just goes
Where was
on long tangents where only two people can talk.
Yeah.
Where was DA in this Pokemon conversation? Probably not even on the
Probably.
computer. Like, say
I
fuck that. I'm going for it now.
I think you were crying in the
P
corner.
word, goodbye.
DA was crying in the corner.
No.
That's the cue to come back later.
Time to do groceries.
Be sure I have a bathroom to clean. That sounds like it's more fun than Pokemon.
Exactly. It's just a cue to do something else.
But oh yeah,
Everyone
there's
has
a
their
lot
triggers,
of
though.
a lot of funny things happen, especially when everybody's in a good mood. There's a lot of people that you know, like the admins and stuff, and conversation can get pretty ridiculous. Especially
Yeah.
conversations like one of my favorite conversations. We just sat there for like an hour bashing Quebec and how much we hate the stupid Frenchies.
Oh,
that
let's
was
not talk about that. That makes me
great.
sad.
Why?
Because I like
Okay,
Quebec.
Montreal is different. I know you like Montreal. I kind of like Montreal too. But Quebec, you have to admit, DA, are kind of a bag of dicks.
No. You're gonna make me sad face. You're gonna make me
They
sad
make
face.
good songs. We'll give them
You're
that.
gonna make me sad face. Gonna make me sad
Everybody,
face.
every Canadian on the chat that day was just ranting about their own personal terrible experience with Quebec.
Oh, you're making me sad face.
Okay.
Just
We don't
saying.
want to make DA sad face, so Quebec is nice in its own special way.
Just like Tasmania.
Tasmania. That's a country I don't hear about too often.
It's not a country, it's a state.
It's our version of Quebec.
There's a state called Tasmania in the States. What?
I think it's
In
classed as a
Australia.
territory.
Oh, Australia. Okay.
It's the little island that dangles off the bottom of our dingly danglies.
And,
What?
and everyone
I
hates them and
Googled it,
calls them
and I
inbred.
got like a no. I literally googled it and I got like Taz from Looney Tunes.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's where he came from. He's a Tasmanian devil. Which we have.
Alright.
Which are Tasmanian devils, and they're feisty little bastards.
No, it's a tiger.
You're thinking of the tiger, that's extinct.
So this is a great example of how conversation goes in chat.
Yeah, exactly. Random tangents.
Oh, look, it's a little island at the bottom of Australia. I didn't know that.
Yeah. People live there and do things. It's weird.
Is that like we're all like, you know, God or whatever put all the scary will kill you in one bite animals? You just threw them on
No.
Actually, that's all of Australia.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty
I
much all of Australia.
Tasmania
I think-
was originally colonized as a convict center.
I heard about that.
It was
yeah.
the prison island on a prison island.
But like, I think
that's
like
saying
the universe
something.
or God or whatever just literally put every scary, could kill you animal on that island and separated it, and then people were like dumb enough to realize, hey, we can live here.
Pretty much.
But like
Yeah,
Steve
but
Irwin could not have come
deadly
out
and
from any
poisonous
other
things
continent
don't kill you
/country.
unless you try and kill them first. So.
I don't know. I've seen too many stories about like alligators in the pools and like black mambas and. Ugh.
That's why I like where I am. There's nothing poisonous here.
That's why we're moving in with you.
Moving
Yeah.
to Kuro's
Just
house.
gonna hide under the bed. None of the bad things can get us steal.
Except for that dog.
Ugh, dog.
Are you
Okay.
talking about Alfred?
Yes, the hobo dog.
The hobo dog. It's a pretty apt description of Alfred.
Mm-hmm. What were we talking about again?
Chat.
Chat?
Oh, right.
Somehow chat turned to Australia. But,
And hobo dogs.
That was just an example of chat.
hobo dogs on the sea. Yep.
So,
Yeah,
personal opinions on chat. Like it, hate it, love it, loathe
I
it.
love chat.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Good luck getting that soda.
Damn it. But I want a can of pop.
It's a long distance to get it. You're on the other Canada.
Yeah,
I'm on the other can. I didn't realize two of them.
Yeah, there's the East Canada and the West Canada.
And then there's Quebec.
DA's gonna stab us when we're not looking.
No. So yeah, that's chat. Next on the agenda is inspiration. Personal opinions on inspiration. What inspires you to write. That sort of jazz.
Personal
I find
opinion
music
on
really inspiring.
inspiration. Like what inspires you to create plots and stuff? Is that what you mean?
Sorry?
Like what inspires you to create plots and stuff? Is that what I mean?
Yeah. Like what you wake up in the morning and you see something or you hear something and you're like, holy crap, I want to write today, so I will.
Actually, speaking of, I just played that Castlevania game, and I saw the wargs. If you played Castlevania, you know what that is. They're big, really big bad wolves. And from that, I got inspired to create a plot, and I put it up on E. And it's just like a pretty detailed plot. I actually found like picture links for it and everything. But I get inspired from almost everything. Like I watch a movie, I can get a plot from that. I play a video game, I can get a plot from that.
Yeah.
It just depends on my mood, I guess.
How about you, DA? What inspires you?
Different things. Books sometimes, music sometimes. It depends. But, hold on a sec.
My inspiration's kind of random in the sense that sometimes it could be a song, or I'll see something like Mario Warfare and be like, I want to do that! Or I'll just be sitting here watching things drive past the house and get a random idea. Like, I don't know. I'm really random when it comes to things that inspire me. Apparently people inspire me too. Working with another person will really help come up with new ideas, I find.
That's true.
Mm.
I can look at a person's thread and whatnot, and then decide on RP to do with them. And if they're okay with it, I can basically brainstorm half of that RP. So like my inspiration will come from their plot to begin with, and I'll just add my input after. So I get inspired by other people too. I think that's a pretty fair statement to say and well put.
There's a couple people in particular that I really like working with for ideas that I find I am more successful with than with others.
Yeah.
find my thing is either music for animation or pictures and faces. I can get a lot of ideas from people's faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And
when you're doing
photos.
a character profile, you just get hit with all this inspiration for what do you want to do with your character and where she's going to be and what they're going to grow
I
up to
can
be.
see like a backstory just from how
Yeah,
the character
that's what I
looks.
mean. Mhm.
No, pictures actually are very helpful and inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
Definitely.
there are pictures that I've seen that are really used often in almost like every thread, like because they're so open to interpretation. You know what I mean? Like there's one of like a girl who's like dressed in all white and a guy dressed in all dark, and she's on the ground and he's picking her up. There's so many things you can do with that if you're
Yeah.
open-minded enough, right?
I have a whole folder full of pictures where I thought they would make good stories.
I used to.
Those are actually like my favorite. One of my favorite things to pick up RPs from. Not so much written plots. If I see a picture that I actually really like, I'll approach it before a written plot. Hell, and usually all my RPs, like when I create a character, I like to include a picture as well from me and my partner. I think it really helps the visualization.
Yeah.
Some people are really good at writing out descriptions of people and stuff too, though, and in that case, it's fine. But I do like to see character pictures, and I never used to actually when I started writing.
I love character pictures. I just love being able to find something and then you find multiples of it. Like,
Mhm.
I go crazy for that. Like, if I find a picture of one girl and then I see her in like a different scenario, I just go like, holy crap, I have to take all of these and show them and shove them in people's faces. Because, yeah, people will see how awesome she is. And then, yeah, it's like that. I get overly excited about things. Who's got Facebook on?
That's me, because I'm technically missing class. So my group members, because I'm doing this filming thing, and they're going like crazy. But it's fine. I go meet them at 2, so I have to leave in like maybe, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes. But you know, they're hounding me.
Well, we're almost done, so.
Yeah, I'll wait it out till it's I'll stay till the very end.
Well, what do you do when you hit a slump? Like, what do you do when the inspiration runs dry? And do you have a journal/forum update thread to tell people that you've run out of inspiration?
Try and no.
Thank you for being blunt.
That's me in a nutshell.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm really bad when it comes to losing inspiration and losing my muse. It's the one thing I'll admit to my RP partner really quickly, is that at the drop of a button, I could be completely turned off of our RP.
Mm.
So, inspiration for me for the same RP that I've done already takes time, for sure. So if I just finished an RP and it fell through, it'll definitely take 2 weeks plus for me to be in the mood for that RP again. I'll have to switch. It's very spontaneous, I guess you could say.
How about you, Kuro?
Usually I need somebody to bully me out of a slump.
Oh, I got Broom for that.
Yeah, pretty much. That's only fair since I bully him into doing things he doesn't want to.
That works out well then.
And as for updating people, I usually tell people up front that I can be a little bit flighty at times when it comes to RPs. But I do my best to work through it and talk to them and let them know that I just have run out of ideas for the time being.
Yeah. Cool. And DA, how about you?
For inspiration, in general,
For when you
I-
pick yourself out of a slump or...
out of slump. Okay, sorry, 'cause I had to go. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
Oh, you can do both,
And
yeah.
I can back. Anyway, well, for slumps, well, I get stressed out easily, and when I get stressed, I can hit slumps, and it takes me a little bit of motivation to get out of a slump. And for me, like when I write, I tend to write a lot. I don't write small posts typically, and it's just the style. It's just the way I write, and so if this is partly why it also takes me a bit to get out of a slump, because like if I'm in a slump and I have, say, like 5 or 6 RPs going, and then I have 5 or 6 things waiting, and I'm like, God, I know how I write. It's going to be like 1,500 words plus per post.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I know what you mean. I fully know what you mean. It's so much harder to get back the muse for an RP if you know how much you have to post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're...
And I get intimidated. I intimidate myself.
That's the same. I'm primarily a mirror poster, right? I usually, if you leave me on my own, I'll type 3 to 4 paragraphs, but I'm a mirror poster at heart. So whatever you give me, I'll give back. Usually because I want detail, I end up RPing with people who post like 4 or 5 paragraphs plus. If I fall out of the muse and I know I have to write 4 or 5 paragraphs for that RP, yeah, you can forget about it. There's no way I'm forcing myself into 5 paragraphs of something that I'm really hating to write, especially when I have to do that for university already. Like, screw you.
Yeah.
So, then it's time for a break.
Mm.
Unless I'm really friendly with the person. In which case, I'll just tell them, hey, maybe we need to switch things up a little.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, though, is I will go back to an RP if I really like the story. Like, I'll go back to it, and I will eventually get the thing going. It's just having to get myself to do it sometime. Yeah. So that can always be interesting. So, but it happens. Like, I will get back into it. It's just a matter of doing it.
I also find that I lose inspiration when it takes too much time between posts.
Yeah, that's my problem. As soon as somebody trails off, I'm just gone. My mind wanders off to other things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because I'm interested in the plot as long as it's progressive and going. But if you're going to make me wait like 4 or 5 days at a post, in those 4 or 5 days, my muse has changed. You know? I've picked up on other things to fill my time between your RP, and as a result, my muse has changed to those other things. So you can't expect me to be super into it again after such a long time. However, there's an exception to that when it comes to certain things, like a Harry Potter plot. I'm always up for Harry Potter. Like, all the time. Or, if I know that the person, first of all, is my friend, secondly, they're going through their thing, they have to do real life stuff, that's fine. If I really like you as a person, then yeah, I'll continue my RP with you. But if you're just a random who's making me wait for a super long time, then you're not for me. I know I sound like a dick. I'm sorry, podcast listeners. I'm really not a dick. I'm just very selective. I'm very picky.
I find that, like, if I really am enjoying the person, I'll wait. Like, I have no qualms with waiting for people. It's just them actually getting back to me eventually. It's like, yeah, whenever you're ready. Don't care. As long as you are going to get back to me.
Yeah, I'll wait too. I don't mind waiting. And the thing is, though, is that if I wait, if it's true, I mean, it's true if you have to wait too long, sometimes your muse will change, and that's true. Yeah. But then it's like, I still don't mind revisiting the RP, but then it's just kind of like, well, I may have to say, do you mind if I have to put you on hiatus now, but I'll come back to you eventually. Just know I have to come back to you eventually, if you're okay with that.
I ran into a situation just like that, but the person was not as accommodating when I asked them to do the same for me.
And I'm okay with that, because if I make someone wait and they're okay with wanting to do that, I'd be like, that's fine, because I made you wait, so it's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone wouldn't say that, because if you've made someone wait a long time, I don't know, it seems kind of unfair to not have the same reciprocation. I don't know.
It was a little bit frustrating.
I hate people who pester. Like, it's only been, 3 hours since I last posted, and they're already messaging me saying, are you going to continue? Like, dude, I have other shit to do. I'm not just sitting here waiting for your response.
There's definitely a limit to being spontaneous and being quick.
Yeah.
Like, I do prefer people who can post, right away, but in respect to that, I know that people have, shit to do, and it's easier for me to post right away because of, the nature of what I do. I'm in class all day. And usually it's not shit that I have to write down, so I'm, RPing or doing whatever. But, you know, there's people who have, like, families who have kids and stuff. You can't hate on those
Yeah.
people because they can't be as quick as you. That's ridiculous.
Mm.
Like, this is recreation for people, not a job. You can't force them to
Yeah.
post to your, you know, to your standards, I guess, or to your time.
Especially if you're
I don't
not
know
that
if that makes
great.
sense.
Like, if you're not really worth the effort, but you're still pestering them, that
Mhm.
that turns me off so much. Like, some people are like, they pester me for a role play, so I'm like, alright, fine. And so I, slot them in a time, and then I give them what they want, and then they just keep pestering me for shit. It's just like, ugh, such a pain in the ass.
And actually, I found that if you're just interesting enough as a person and you connect with your role-playing partner, they will look forward to the RP just as much as you do, and they will take their days off and they will take their hours off to RP with you. So you will get a few decent posts a day or a few decent posts every couple of days. You know, you don't have to force it. You just have to be patient.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key word here. Just patience.
You'll need to be very patient with me.
I think those are the things that we can take away from this today is like everyone, loses their muse. It's okay, just relax, take your time. Keep an open communication with your partner because that's always good just to, let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
That sort of shit. And if you pester people, I hate you. A whole lot. Don't pester me, for the love of God.
I've learnt that lesson many times,
Yes, you have.
and I will never learn from it.
No, you aren't.
Has Broom been in here the entire time and just not said anything?
He's waiting for the right time to just yell out "boo." Scare everyone.
You're not sneaky, Broom. I can see you. I can see you.
I don't know if he actually connected properly.
It says he has.
How odd.
Silent guest Broom.
He's just ignoring us to make us look crazy. Fine.
Just sitting there shaking his head.
Mhm.
You people.
Silently
Probably.
I
I don't blame
Hey, we're not that bad.
I don't know, I am. Pretty sure I drive him crazy.
You and your
Okay, I'm here now.
shenanigans.
See?
Called him out.
See?
Call the devil and he shall appear.
No, I had to help my mom with something.
Oh,
No,
you
we're on
don't.
What are we talking about? What are we doing?
We're on
What's
to
going
your shit.
We're pretty much just wrapping up now.
No.
And it's a podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Well,
Almost.
my fault.
Man, this podcast wouldn't have been the same without your contribution, Broom. I don't.
Well, apparently I made all of you guys look crazy, so that's a bonus. I wasn't even really here, but
Just talking to our invisible friend.
me being not here yet still being here is apparently its own reward.
Your presence was just enough. That's all I need.
I literally was not here until like 5 minutes ago.
Why did you answer the call?
Because I was here when I answered the call, but I wasn't when I was actually in the call because I had to go do something.
No, we should figure out an actual call for you, like a bird call, like a call or something. And as soon as you hear that, you know to come.
Like the broom signal.
Yes.
Just like a spotlight that's like a giant broom.
Oh, it's Skype, so we have to. It has to be like voice related.
We can make
So,
brushing noises like whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah, the broom. That'll be it. That's you know to come.
That's my signal. My signal is people sounding like they're gargling mouthwash.
Or spitting. Just whoosh,
Super awesome.
More of like a skiing noise, like whoosh, whoosh. That's how I ski.
swoosh.
I don't know.
Every time I ski, I literally have to say whoosh, whoosh, or it's not the same.
Doesn't seem like a very efficient way to ski.
Hey man, I won't tell you how to disappear and show up normally around the last minute, and you don't tell me how to ski. Okay?
It's not my fault I got good timing.
You were bad.
Good.
No.
Because again, apparently I made you guys look crazy even though I wasn't even here. So that's a bonus in my book, really.
We just assumed you were sitting there like silently judging.
It's fine. We were talking about while you were gone anyway, so.
You were talking about me while I was gone?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
All the
Lots of
sexy
rumors spread about you now. Everybody hears this podcast.
Oh, really?
May or may not
most of
include.
the time,
Yeah,
then.
it may or may not include necrophilia.
What?
Well, Kimmy's dreams again.
Hey, leave me and Broom out of this.
Dream Broom?
Drew, bro?
Remember,
It's Dream
I feel like
Broom.
that's a t-shirt. Or a tattoo.
She's gonna get Dream Broom tattooed on her arm and a heart.
Oh God, no.
I would never encourage any of that. Never.
Dream Broom wouldn't accept the distraction. I knew what I wanted to say. My
Tongue
mouth.
twister.
Apparently Dream Broom is that charming.
Yeah.
Just leaves her speechless.
But he's still very impartial.
Mm.
He kind of want to be here, but he doesn't also want to be here. It's a so-so kind of situation.
Well, you know, Dream Broom's got a lot of shit going on. Very busy.
Yeah, you're not his only visitor tonight.
I still picture you as the
Dream
Broom
Broom's a
from
player.
Fantasia. Like, when I think of Broom, I don't remember a face. I think of the little cleaning broom from Fantasia, carrying the buckets.
It's the Avatar.
That's right. That's why. Yes. Now I
It's
understand.
super great, too, because I'm a janitor.
Hey, man. It works. But no, the Fantasia ones are like cute, and I remember they cost so much trouble. It's one of my favorite movies as a kid.
So, your idea of me is just this broom causing shenanigans.
Yeah, you're a talking broom holding buckets.
On the other side of the screen is just a broom with Broom's picture on it.
Broom with a picture of a broom on it?
Yeah! It's like
So
Inception.
you think I'm sitting
but
here with like a
brooms.
picture of a broom on my face?
Broomception.
No, I'm saying you are a broom
Broomception.
with the broom has your face. It made sense in my head.
I think
Everything
you sound like a
does.
creepy stalker.
No, he actually is a broom, and he wears like a makeshift Halloween mask on the very top, just to pretend
The
he's
pumpkin
a
head.
human being when he goes outside.
So kind of like Chicken Bill.
How do you type as a broom?
What?
Oh, I use splinters.
Oh, all right, makes sense.
They just womp the brush
the
end.
Not too good for the keyboard, but it gets done. I like how the main concern here about me being a movable broom is that I can type and not how I can talk.
Oh no, that's okay. But a more pressing question is: do you eat what you sweep up? Is that your main source of nutrition?
Well, theoretically, wouldn't the bristles be my feet or my ass? So
Well,
you're basically asking
some-
if I eat my
no.
ass.
Yes, that would be. Some animals do eat from the rectum, and it would. Everything else would be improbable. Like this entire thing isn't, but everything else would be improbable because you would just have a stick with no opening at the top, so there would
Right.
be no way for shit to come in. The only
Photosynthesis.
plausible way of food intake is from the bottom.
He's a vampiric. He's a vampiric broom. If someone grabs his handle, he absorbs nutrients through their skin.
He's a man-sucking broom. Okay.
Man sucking broom. Through all of the logic through here, the main concern is whether or not I eat and type. Well, it's good that everybody has my priorities in mind. I really appreciate that.
I mean, the two
Makes you
hands
feel special,
extending
doesn't it?
Oh, super special.
Oh my God, thanks.
And actually, it's not far from the truth. There are like snails and stuff that like on the ocean floor that just like eat what their like butts scoot up from the ocean floor, like little bacteria and stuff. So you're in the same realm as that.
You think that I just like sweep shit up and then I just eat it through my ass? Like my rectum is like a nutrient sponge.
To clean the community while satisfying your belly. That's
Your unquenchable needs for sustenance through your body.
That's different.
Isn't it?
Well, this is a great note to end the podcast on.
Yeah.
Discussing
Apparently
Broom's
I eat out
butt.
of my ass. That's super. I didn't know that about myself.
Learn something new every day.
I do. It's been a learning experience since I came on here.
Hey man, if Steve-O can chug a beer from his butt, you can eat from your ass. It's okay.
Yeah, because my life goal is to be compared to Steve-O. That's really something I want to shoot
Much
for.
better than Steve-O. You're also a broom. That's
Right,
Steve-O
well,
could never be a broom.
Yeah,
much as he wants.
I mean, if we take that out of the equation, then clearly I'm already at the level that Steve-O wishes he could be.
Definitely. Steve-O looks up to you.
Who is Steve-O?
Jackass.
What?
Oh, okay.
He's one of the people from Jackass.
Okay, that makes
I think he's
sense.
got his own show.
Chug the
I don't
beer.
really-
So
I don't really
That's-
watch those shows because I think they're stupid. But besides, if I wanted to watch stupid shit, I'd get on YouTube.
Yeah,
This is true.
but, they didn't really have YouTube back in the 1990s. Like, late
What's
90s.
YouTube around?
Jackass was like 2001.
Yeah, that's like late 1990s, early 2000s.
YouTube's only been around for like 6 years.
Yeah.
2005 was YouTube.
It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of weird to imagine.
Mhm.
See, our Prime Minister's been banned from YouTube.
Nice.
That's false advertising. It just amuses me greatly.
Well, I missed all the important conversation, but at least we figured out what it means to be a living broom.
That's all that
So
matters.
We discovered a lot.
we have that.
We laughed, we cried, we figured out Broom eats through his butt. It's been a pretty productive day.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also function as a mop? Or are you
Yes.
you just sus? Okay. So it's like a dual purpose thing. I'm not gonna stop if you don't end this podcast. So
Okay.
I'm gonna
I'll
continue.
take the hint. Alright, from everyone at Moonlighting, it's been wonderful having you in our ears. Wait.
I don't think that's
Get out of
Maybe
our
in their
ears.
ears.
Shut up! I was just gonna say it's reverse.
Do you have
She's
a
in
question?
Australia. She can't help it.
It just can't stop imagining Broom eating
all
things with his
dicks.
butt.
You're in our
Just like toilets, everything is backwards.
That's
In
right.
Australia land.
Alright. Thank you for letting us into your ears. I'm Kimmy Doll, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.